just wondering if EBA school, are they connected to other post-secondary education institutes to bring in teachers, qualified trained teachers to come into the school from within South Sudan?
David.
Yeah, shall I have a go at that? So we have a very good working relationship with the Solidarity Teacher Training College in Yambio, and we a number of our teachers have come from there. So I think the challenge of teachers is a combination of funding and the availability of good teachers, qualified teachers across South Sudan, and we're working on that. I think one of the jobs for the new head teacher will be to have a look at the teaching staff and have a look at the structure of the leadership of the school and make sure that there is sufficient there. And I think the things that Honourable Grace Apollo has said have really struck home with us, and we're giving that a lot of thought. And that's something also for the governance in South Sudan to provide some leadership on. So yeah, we're well connected locally. I wonder if Julia wants to add anything else about the nature of teaching and the pipeline into teaching, and also perhaps maybe how we expect the girls to go on from the school post education at the school.
Is EBA school?
And also, sorry, can I just say that I think Margaret Scott wants to come in on this question as well.
Of course, Margaret would be an ideal person. Yeah. Sorry, Melody, did you want to follow up with a sort of supplementary to that, and then we'll deal with them together?
Oh, thank you, David. Yeah, just if EBA school is interested in connecting with other post-secondary institutions, I've been involved in a small way with Emmanuel Christian College, located currently in Yei. Its campus is in Gully. And so just wondered, we have amazing graduates coming out of the education program there, and just wondered if EBA school is looking for more partnerships with South Sudan led and South Sudan run post-secondary education institutions that are actually graduating amazing, qualified, high quality teachers.
Brilliant. Thanks, Melody. That's great. Shall I bring in, so Julia, I see you've got your mic on. Did you want to come in first, and then we'll go to Margaret?
Well, I can just answer very briefly on that. We have got our first cohort of girls moving into their secondary third year this year, and one of the key areas we've identified along with the staff at IGBS is to look at post-school opportunities, and we're very aware that will be the next step for us as the girls move through the school. We haven't yet had any girls leave the school completing their secondary education yet. That'll be another year and a half, or nearly 2 years before that happens. But it is on the agenda. And I'll just go to Margaret now, who can also talk about training for teachers and the issues around recruiting teachers to schools.
Thank you. I was interested to hear Melody's comment about there are good secondary trained teachers available, because I found in Yambio we could not even recruit qualified staff for the teacher training college. We were looking for people with education degrees, and we never got applicants from Yambio itself, even from Western Equatoria. So it's very difficult to get suitably qualified people in that area. Maybe in other places it's possible, but I think that's a big issue. And I know that in some secondary schools, in one secondary school very close to the college, the senior 4 leavers sat their senior 4 exams and then straight away they were employed as teachers to teach in that secondary school. Now, from my point of view, that's not acceptable, but that was the way that it happened. But I do think it is difficult to get good educated teachers. And I think one of the big issues is the lack of finance for teaching. You know, the teachers are not valued and they're not paid well. So not many people want to go into teaching, I think. So I don't want to continue in a negative vein, but that was my experience. Thank you.
Did anybody else wanted to add anything? Oh, can we go back to
I can see
the earlier
Jesse
question?
and Victor have got their hands up, Golden.
Okay.
Just wondering, what is the salary of a teacher at IBA?
It's $400 or $500 a month, if I've got that right.
It's quite good.
And the other significant thing is that they're paid regularly as well, which hasn't happened in some parts of the country where teachers, along with other public servants, haven't been paid for months. So that's also an attraction, along with accommodation and food and so on, because it's a boarding school.
And Victor?
Victor, do you want to come in?
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. Sorry, I'm having trouble with my network. So I just wanted to comment on what Madam Margaret has mentioned about the low salaries of the teachers. And that one is really disturbing in South Sudan, because many people, they don't want to go to the universities to study education because they know even after getting the degree, they will not get a nice job, they will not get a good pay. So only few people go to the universities to get a degree in education. So to get qualified teachers for IBA, really, one thing that may be needed is a competitive salary. That's where teachers can be attracted from all over South Sudan, like from Juba, from any other part of South Sudan, Upper Nile, Jonglei. If they know the pay will take care of them and their families, will cater for their needs, then they can be moved to go to IBA. Because one thing also to keep in mind is that IBA is somehow like a village. For someone to move there, then he must have a good reason to move there, and the benefit of moving there should also be considerable. So to get qualified teachers, these factors should be kept in mind while looking for the teachers, the salaries, and also moving to IBA, or what it will involve. Like someone moving from Juba to live in IBA, the benefit should really be something that can move someone to go there, considering the other factor of not having qualified teachers in the country like those of university level. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Victor. And I think Dwayne Johnston.
Yes.
And I think we'll close it after that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Dalway Johnston, Fields of Life. We're involved in education in Maridi and in IBA, mostly in partnership with the Anglican Church there, and mostly in the primary sector. We have one secondary school, but one of the biggest issues is exactly this issue of low pay for teachers and teachers just not turning up. So it's not the problem isn't pupil absenteeism, it's teacher absenteeism. And in that sector, typical salaries might be $15 or $20 per month. I mean, I applaud what you're doing in IBA Girls' School, but in the wider society, teaching is not valued. And maybe the bigger issue is that actually the community don't see the value of education, and there's work to be done there. So yeah, one of our biggest challenges is just getting teachers in those primary schools and keeping teachers. And so as we go forward, our conversations are around capacity building and teacher training and salary support to try to keep teachers in schools. Thank you.
Thank you.
Could I ask a very basic question? How many universities are there in South Sudan?
At least
Well,
2, no, 3.
So,
There's 3 or 4 I know of. The idea was each state was to have a university. But in practice, I think there's Upper Nile, there is Juba, which is quite a legacy university. There is Bahal Ghazal. I think those 3 are operating at least.
And
Well,
Catholic
Manpower.
University.
And the Catholic
Catholic
University. Yes,
Yep.
absolutely. Private, yeah.
Right, thank you.
Also, Emmanuel Christian College just became officially certified by the Minister of Education in Juba.
Right.
So now they are officially registered. So they are also an excellent institution.
It's very interesting that it seems what's come out of this is that the community does not see the value of education to the wider society as much as they should, and the concerns about capacity building, etc. So education is a profession that is shunned upon because of the career prospects and the compensation that surrounds that. And it is quite worrying, but there is, well, I'm sure there is progress and there is a lot to be done yet. And with that, I pass on to Jane to introduce the next speaker.